Assalamu alaikum. I hope so you're doing fine. Dr. Ali Rabbani here with the continuation of our lecture on hip bone. We are doing the muscle attachments of ilium bone. In this particular video, rather attachments of the ilium. We will start with the muscle attachments, then we will move on to some ligamentous and other attachments too. So by now, if you have not followed up on bony features, do link to the previous lecture where all after overview we have discussed all the bony features, borders, surfaces there. So let us talk about it. The different muscles that are attached here. Let's start simple here. So in the iliac fossa, in the upper one third, so we have discussed all these things. So I will be referring to this particular picture from the Netter's Atlas for the front view and this one for the back view. So do take a screenshot, or if you want to, I will be moving on to the 3D model. For moving on to it, so here is the picture of the back view and here is the picture of the front view that we are going to use for the looking at the different attachments. I will be just talking about the attachments of the hip bone rather than more discussing the whole attachments uh, of the muscle that we will do in subsequent lectures on the thigh and limbs. So let's start here. So we have this part, the iliac bone, the iliac fossa, this huge part. This gives rise to this a whole area. This gives rise to the muscle that is the iliacus muscle, and that goes from here all the way down to the this part that is the uh, that part that is the anterior lesser trochanter. We'll see that in there. So we have that, and next you see that, and this part that is continuation of the psoas. It its insertion merges with the psoas muscle, so it is shown cut here. So there is a number of muscle on the iliac crest on the top. So let's start from there. On the anterior most part, just at the tip, do you remember the name of the tip? The anterior superior iliac spine. This part gives rise to the sartorius muscle, the talar muscle. That is a very large muscle. That's one of the longest muscles of the body. That starts from here and go all the way down to the tibia part. It does not even attach to the femur. It goes all the way down and attaches to the tibia. So that is the sartorius muscle getting attached to the anterior most part, the anterior superior iliac spine. Just behind it, on the outer lip, this is the muscle that gets attached here, this part, this muscle. This is the muscle that is the attachment of the tensor fascial lata, as you can see in this particular picture. This muscle is attached on the bone here, and in the lower end it is seemingly hanging from the sky. So basically it is attached to a fascial thickening that is called fascia lata and iliotibial tract part of fascia lata. So it is attached there. Then we talked about having the outer lip, inner lip, and intermediate part. The outer lip gave one attachment to the tensor fascial lata. The outer lip gives the second attachment to this muscle, that is the external oblique muscle. I will zoom out a little for this view. So this is one of the three muscles of the abdominal wall, the external oblique muscles. Now the next one in the middle, in the intermediate part, this is the transversus abdominis muscle, again one of the three muscles of the abdominal wall. And last but not the least is this one. This is the internal oblique muscle coming from the inner lip. By the way, you don't have to discuss more about these muscles now. We will do that in detail in the abdomen part. But a few things that will come down here is one, this the external oblique muscle. It is attached all both on this iliac crest, and we will see that in the pubic bone lecture that it is also attached to the pubic tubercle. So between the pubic bone and the anterior spheric iliac spine, so between the pubic bone and the anterior spheric iliac spine, this whole thing, this whole free thing that is running here, this is called the inguinal ligament. This is the inguinal ligament. You will get a lot of references of this inguinal ligament, and then we will talk about this uh, transverse internal oblique and transversus abdominis muscle, they are attached to the inguinal ligament too, and as you can see in this free end, they join together and they as a fused form they get attached here, and as a conjoined tendon they get attached here in the pubic crest. We will see that again in the pubic part of the bone. So till now we have done iliacus, anterior spheric ilex when we have done sartorius. On the outer lip we did two muscles that were tensor fascia lata, and on the back that is the external oblique muscle, and on the inside we did transversus abdominis muscle, and on the innermost lip we did the internal oblique muscle. So that brings us into the anterior two-thirds. The posterior one-third gives attached to these three muscles. In we have the inner slope and the outer slope. In the inner slope we got this is the quadratus lumborum muscle that starts from here and gets attached to the transverse processes of lumbar vertebra and also the 12th rib. So this is the quadratus lumborum, and on the inside you get this muscle. Like first let's do this. This is the large muscle of the back. Let us zoom out. This is the large muscle of the back. This is called the erector spinae muscle that is attached to the other slope, also to the, let me confirm, yes, it shares the inner slope. The inner slope has this quadratus lumborum. Okay, I'm looking at BD cuirassier here. The quadratus lumborum is counted in the inner lip on the anterior two-third, this one, and the and this erector spinae muscle is counted in the posterior one-third in the medial slope. And on the outer slope, you get this. In the outer slope, you get this. That is the gluteus maximus. That is the big muscle of your buttocks that goes attached to the tensor fascia lata and also the gluteal tuberosity. And now we are left with this part in the middle that is just on the ridge between the two slopes. This does not give directly attached to the muscle here, and as you can see it is not showing the muscle itself attached here, but it does give attachment to the thoracolumbar fascia, and that is now upward continued as latissimus dorsi muscle. So latissimus dorsi is attached to the iliac crest, posterior part of the iliac crest through thoracolumbar fascia, not exactly shown here. So we have done the inside the iliac crest. On the outside we did this. The anterior spheric iliac spine, the external oblique, the transversus abdominis, the internal oblique, the quadratus lumborum muscle, and we did this on the back. If we see, we did this erector spinae, latissimus dorsi, and gluteus maximus. Let us move on the outside. The outside, as you can see, the gluteal lines are very much defined here due to the absence of attachments of muscle. So basically the gluteal lines, the posterior, the anterior, the inferior gluteal lines were due to the attachment of these muscles. So behind the posterior gluteal line is the same, the gluteus maximus muscle, going all the way to the medial lateral slope. Between the anterior gluteal line and the posterior gluteal line, you get this, the gluteus medius muscle, getting originating from here all the way going to the greater trochanter of femur, and here you get the inferior gluteal in the between the anterior gluteal line and the inferior gluteal line, you get this, the gluteus minimus muscle. And now you are left with this, the inferior gluteal line, and below it the area above acetabulum and it. So you get these two attachments, one at the anterior inferior iliac spine and one just above the acetabular fossa. So these are the two heads of rectus femoris, the one that is attached here to the anterior inferior iliac spine. So this one is the straight head and this one is the reflected head. So this is the reflected head of the rectus abdominis muscle and that one is the straight head of the rectus abdominis muscle. So these are all the attachments of the muscles on the this rectus abdominis, also on the iliac part of the hip bone. So you can see these pictures on the Netter's atlas too. So we have gone through the different muscular attachments. Now let us give a bird eye view to the different attachments of fascia and ligaments to this bone. So this is again the same 3D anatomy. I have visualized all the ligaments and fascia that are attached to it. Let's start with this big thing here. This is the fascia that is lining the inside of the abdominal wall, even inside all the muscles. This is called transversalis fascia. As you can figure it out from this picture, this is being attached to the inner margin or inner lip of the iliac crest. Done? Let's remove that. The next is this fascia. This is the fascia iliaca and iliac fascia, and this is going to surround the muscle iliacus, and it is going again to attach this margin, the medial margin of the or medial lip of the iliac crest. So this is another attachment to the medial margin. So again removing that, let's move on to the outer lip. In the outer lip, you get these attachments, that is the fascia lata, partially shown in the front or not shown on the back here, and this is attached on the whole of the outer lip of the iliac crest, and that is going to cover the whole leg like a large stocking. So that is called fascia lata, fascia of the thigh, and it's specially thickened portion on the iliac tubercle, and this part is called iliotibial tract. So we have done that. So let's remove these and move on to the next one. On the anterior superior iliac spine, so we have done this iliotibial tract, fascia transversalis, fascia iliaca. Okay. On the anterior spheric iliac spine, we talked about the attachment of the sartorius muscle, and we talked about the bridging of external oblique muscle from the anterior spheric iliac spine all the way to pubic tubercle. So between these two parts, this free part is a ligamentous form or fibrous form, not a muscular form, that is called the inguinal ligament, ligamentum inguinale. So that's that, and done with this. Let's remove it. Let's move down to the anterior border. Just below the inferior border, anterior spheric iliac spine, just below the attachments of rectus abdominis, we get this muscle, this Y shape, this muscle that is attached from ilium all the way to this intertrochanteric line on the femur. So this is the iliofemoral ligament. This is the iliofemoral ligament. Just below the iliofemoral ligament on the margins of all three bones, and for now for this part we're talking about the part of the ilium bone. So here is the this line, this is the line of attachment of the capsule of the hip joint. So this is the capsule of the hip joint, and so these are all the ligaments here. On the top you get this ligament. So you get this first this ligament goes from the above from the iliac posterior most part of the iliac crest all the way to the fifth lumbar vertebra, that is called iliolumbar ligament, that is going to support the pelvic girdle. Below it you have this ligament that is going to attach to the anterior margin of the articular surface. So this is going to be anterior sacroiliac ligament or anterior sacroiliac joint. Back, we talked about the attachment of the latissimus dorsi muscle through the fascia, and this fascia is called the thoracolumbar fascia, or thoracolumbar fascia to be more accurate. It is the posterior layer, and that's it splits around the erector spinae muscle to form the posterior and anterior layers. And as we are looking from the back, that is the posterior layer. Above it, they split a little further. Again, that's the topic for the back region. So these are the different middle and anterior layers. We will discuss them when that's the time is appropriate. So that's that. Now we are left with sacrotuberous and sacroiliac ligament just on the posterior inferior iliac spine. This part, this is the sacrotuberous ligament because majorly it is coming from sacrum and getting attached to the ischial tuberosity, but it is also attached to the anterior posterior inferior iliac spine. So that is the sacrotuberous ligament. The ligament that is attached on the posterior margin of the sacroiliac joint to the sacrum. So this is called the posterior sacroiliac ligament. And now we are left with this introitious sacroiliac ligament. You don't get a very good view of this. Let us fade others. So it is a ligament that is inside, and it is sitting on top of the iliac tuberosity between the sacrum in front and ilium behind. So this, the one that is shown in the green here, is called the introitious sacroiliac ligament. So That's that. So by that, I think we are done with all the different ligaments of the hip bone that are attached there. So by this, I think, but by the way, I will give you these pictures for taking a screenshot. These are the pictures from BD Churasia book, and they will show all the attachments, and they are showing very clearly the ileum attachments of the, especially the sacropelvic surface ligaments, the dorsal, the atrocious, so these ligaments. So on the ventral side, on the outside, on the femoral side. So these are the different bones. So by that, I think we are done with the attachments of the iliac bone. And if you have any questions, suggestion, feedback, please mention in the comments below. With that, we are winding up the ilium part of the hip bone. And do see the next video, that is going to be the osteology and bony features of the pubic bone. And after that, we will follow it with its attachment, and then we will move on to the ischium bone. Thank you for listening. I hope so this was useful for you. If you have any questions, suggestion or feedback, please mention below in the comments, and do share this video with your colleagues. See you in the next video.